Hello and welcome back to another Python tutorial, where today we're going to be covering the topic of if statements and if-else statements. So let's get started. I find the first way, or the best way of understanding if statements is using like a password example. So that's what we're going to do, a very simplistic version of a password check. So let's start off with assigning a variable called pass. I'm going to make this equal to our current password, or the password that we are inputting. So let's write, I don't know, subscribe as our password, and then we will go down 2 lines. And now we're going to put our if statement in. We're going to code it all at once, and then I'm going to go through and explain it in slightly more detail. So let's do if, and then pass, and then we have to put 2 equals in, speech marks, and then we're going to type in the password we want it to check our input against. So let's do subscribe. And then because all passwords seem to have some form of symbol, let's put an exclamation mark at the end, and then close our speech marks. We're then going to put a colon and press enter. We're then going to type in print. We're then going to open up some brackets. We're going to put in some speech marks, and we're going to write password accepted Mr. Bond. There we go, and we are going to close our speech marks and close our brackets. We'll save that quickly, and then make sure we just save everything. So let's call this if 1 lesson 1. So it's if statement example 1, and it is lesson 1. Save, just so we don't lose any progress. It's a good practice to keep saving your code as you're working. Now let's also type in our else statement. For else, colon, and then new line, print, space, open exclamation, open brackets, open speech marks, and then we'll say I don't know who you are, and then we'll put full stop. Oh no, go away. Good. There we go, go away. There we go, and close our speech marks all together, and close our brackets, and we'll save this again. So at the top, this will be our user input, and because it's again good standard or good practice to use comments, let's comment this. User input. Now we've got our if statement. So it will be if pass, so it's checking our variable pass, and we use 2 equal signs. Because 2 equal signs mean compare that the values are the same. So it's comparing this and this. Why here, it was saying 1 equal signs, it actually means copy the value over. So it's copying the value of subscribe over to pass. And here we're comparing if the value of pass is the same as the value of this string. So let's add a new comment, and we'll call it first check. And we will save that. Actually, we've got one other comment we can add. On our else, we're going to add another new comment. Let's do just to catch things that do not apply. There we go, let's save it, and now let's run it. There aren't any mistakes. You can see it says, I don't know who you are, go away. And that's because our subscribe, our password, isn't the same as the one here, because we don't have the exclamation mark. So let's put the exclamation mark in. Let's rerun it. There we go. We have to save it again. And you can see password accepted, Mr. Bond. And that is great. But something we can do as programmers is we can improve our code, because you should always be improving your code and messing around and trying new skills. When you finish this tutorial, you should go continue and mess around and try and learn. So let's try and improve this. Let's remove this password equals subscribe part, and let's actually let the user input a password, going back for this knowledge we learned from the last tutorial. So there we go. All we have to do is add input, and then 2 brackets, and then we'll run that, run module, and you can see it will ask us to type a password in. So let's write hello. Didn't work. Let's rerun it. You can run your code by pressing F5, and we'll write subscribe in. Forgot the capital. So let's run it one last time, and as you can see, it should password accepted. But as this is not a very good user interface, it just didn't ask us for the password. So in the input brackets here, we'll put some speech marks in. There we'll go, and we'll write, what is the password? Press run, and run module. And as you can see, it now asks for the password. So let's close that, because we know it works. So now you can use if statements. I recommend pausing it and changing things around just until you learn it. And then we're going to cover if-else statements, because what happens if you want to do multiple checks? So let's add age verification in, or name verification. So let's scroll down, and just to make our life easier here, we're going to change our variable to back up to what it was originally. So let's just, there we go. And let's add an age variable. So we're going to have age, and we're going to make that equal, let's do 155. That's not actually my age. Don't worry about it. And we'll save that. Again. So, it will check our password. And if our password comes back false, add a new line. And now we're going to write else if, like that. And then with else if, we'll then add our rule, like we've done with the password. So, else if age is equal to, let's say, 110, and then we will add our colon and go down by a line, print, open brackets, open speech marks, you're the same age as Michael. We'll close then our speech marks and close our brackets. Now let's add another else if. Else if, and then we will say age is, I don't know, let's say less than 110. Go down, print, add one more, you are younger than Michael. There we go. And we'll change our last else statement as well. Actually, let's just remove this else statement for now. Actually, no, it's good practice to keep it in, so we'll leave that. Let's add some more comments, because comments are helpful. Exclamation mark. And we'll do second check. Check. There we go. And we'll do exclamation mark third check, and we'll save that. So it's important to mention that when it comes to here, it will do our first check. If our first check fails, it will then go to the second check. If our second check fails, it will then go to the third check, and if the third check fails, it will then go to the fourth check. But if it's successful on the first check, it will skip the rest. If it's successful on the second check, it will skip the rest. So, let's run this. We should be able to work out what's happened now. We've made a problem. We've made an obvious problem. Didn't put double equal signs. There we go, let's run this. We made a mistake. And our mistake is obvious. We have forgotten to keep our variables the same. A lot of coding is looking at the error messages and fixing it. And see, I don't know who you are. But what happens if we change our age to 110? And now let's rerun this. As you can see, it skipped the first thing because it failed. And then it ran the second check, and it was successful, so it printed that out. And it didn't bother doing the third or the fourth check. If we, let's say, change this to our password, there we go, change our password to pass, and we'll save that and run module, you can see it says password accepted, Mr. Bond. Which is just a really, it's a nice, easy thing to do. Now we've learnt all of this, I would recommend you use this knowledge, you mess around with the skills, you change the words out, put a different order. I don't know, maybe do like a question and answer thing with the if-else statement. Ask a question, if answers this, write this. If else, write that. Just have some fun with it. The best way of learning is to try it yourself. So, hopefully I'll see you in the next tutorial. Goodbye, bye.